Okay, making some barbecue sauce with all this stuff here for tomorrow's brisket, and I'm roasting a poblano pepper. So you've seen me do this before. Not gonna spend much time on it. We'll be back. Hello, we're back again. I got 4 or 5 barbecue sauces that I make. This is probably my favorite. I take these fire roasted tomatoes there, and I put them in a blender, and I just turn them into a sauce. And because I don't really feel like cooking them down, I just blend them up in here. It's easier. And I got whole medium onion. I got that roasted poblano pepper, and I got 2 seeded and jalapeno peppers chopped real fine. The onion. I got this garlic here that I'm fixing to turn into a paste. And then I'm going to have ketchup and water, Worcestershire sauce, cider vinegar on here, molasses. Where's that? Oh, there's that molasses back there hiding. Brown spicy mustard, cayenne pepper. I maybe put a teaspoon in here, but if people like it hot, put more. If you don't like it real hot, these peppers over here are going to add some spice to it also. Okay, so just remember that. Chili powder, my homemade chili powder, which is it's right there. I'll bring it out in a minute. So anyway, I'm going to puree these or blend up these tomatoes, and then we're going to saute these vegetables and this garlic and put in the lemon juice and everything else, and we're going to mix it all up in this bowl. I will place this recipe on the blogger. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, here's those fire roasted tomatoes after I have blended them up. I'm telling you folks, I don't even use tomato sauce anymore. I just buy these Mirror Glen fire roasted tomatoes, and I either cook them whole like they are. You can buy them whole. You can buy them. These were diced. Just blend them up. There's not that many seeds in them, and I'm telling you, look at it. Dang. The tomato flavor is out of this world. Anyway, we're going to start putting this together. We'll be back. Okay, 1 cup of water I call for in this recipe is so you can shake all the goodness out of this Heinz tomato ketchup. Got to use Heinz. Or, it don't really matter. I like Heinz. I think they make the best ketchup in the world, and I've ate probably 2,000 different types of ketchup. Heinz. American made, always good. Anyway, that's what that cup of water's for. Alright, we'll be back. Okay. Here's about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic that's smashed up with salt. You do it with a knife. You scrape it back and forth. You just use the salt as a grinder, and anyway, like sandpaper. Here's all the ingredients. There's Worcestershire sauce, the water, ketchup, cider vinegar, lemon juice, molasses, spicy brown mustard. Sometimes I use just regular old yellow mustard in here. You can go either way. I just want to use spicy brown today. Cayenne pepper, chili powder, and allspice. Be careful with allspice. Use a half a teaspoon. Don't just put it in your hand and throw it in there, because you'll be nothing but allspice. Alright, we're going to start cooking this thing up. We're going to saute the vegetables, then add the tomato sauce, add everything else into it, and cook it. And I hope you enjoy this thing. The reason I'm making this is because I'm cooking a brisket tomorrow on the Smokinator. So that's why I'm making this wonderful sauce, because you're going to have wonderful brisket. You got to have a good sauce. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, you want to cook these onions just till they start to get translucent, just like those look right there. And I'm going to dump all these peppers in there. And now we're going to cook these till they just start to give up their juice. And then we're going to throw the garlic in there. And then once you start to smell the garlic, you can dump in that and all this other wonderful goodness in there. And just let it simmer. Okay, I'm going to dump the garlic. We'll be back. Okay, this is the point that I put in just about, 2 teaspoons of coarse salt, sea salt, and I ground up about 2 or 3 teaspoons of black pepper. Taste it. It's perfectly salted, not too much. And then I'm going to pour in all this heavenliness here. This wonderfulness goes into here. Bring it to a boil, simmer it for about 30 minutes, and let her cool. Put her in the fridge. We'll be back. Okay, I was looking over the recipe. When you run the camera and you're the producer and the director and the continuity, when you're doing it all, sometimes you tend to overlook things, but it's on the recipe, is that there's 3/4, also in that mix, there's 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Dark brown sugar. And that's just more sweetness, southern sweetness that'll stick to your ribs. This stuff here, gosh, it is delicious. And it's one of these things that when it sits overnight in the refrigerator, it gets even better. So anyway, that's why I'm cooking it today. It'll be nice. It'll be great. It's going to be good. With that old brisket, I bought a huge brisket. That brisket's another show. I'll do it tomorrow. Anyway, we'll be back. Okay, this thing is pretty well. I don't want to bring it to a full boil. It's bubbling because there's so much sugar in here that it don't take long for the bottom of this thing to scorch. I got my griddle turned on very, very low. And I'm going to put this pot over when this griddle gets up to about 250, 225. I'll put the pot on there. Then I'll adjust the griddle heat to what I need it to be. That way this griddle will cook more evenly over. This where electric stove top is really good for this application, because you know these old burners here, they're just, you know, sometimes they just fry a cat if you ain't careful. Anyway, and what I like to do when I finish it, I'll run my immersion blender through it and just turn every bit of this, because I want these vegetables to kind of cook off. Then I don't strain it. I'll just run the immersion blender through it and just turn it into heavenliness, wonderfulness. Anyway, we'll be back. Okay, I got it on this cooktop, on this griddle here. It'll cook real slow now. 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. I don't know. There's no set time. The longer it cooks, the better it turns out. Well, up to a point. I want it to thicken up. That's what I really want it to do, because most of the vegetables and all that's done. Just want to thicken it up just a little bit. That takes about 30 minutes. Run the immersion blender through it. It's cold outside tonight. I put this outside. It'll be good. Hope the coons or the possums don't eat it. Anyway, we'll be back. I was looking through the chef's catalog online the other day, and I saw this, I believe it was an all-clad never burn your sauces again pot. It looked to be about this size, 3 or 4 quarts, and it has a stainless steel liner or outside with a nickel bottom with I think it said liquid silicone core in it, some kind of liquid in there that doesn't expand when it gets hot. Then back to you know, stainless steel cover on all of that. Said that your sauces will never burn again because of the even distribution of heat. But that thing's expensive. Expensive. I might get one for Christmas. Anyway, we'll be back. Okay, as it is with jalapenos, these I got today were plenty flavorful, but didn't have a lot of heat. So I had to supplement it with I like a little spice, so I put in about an even half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and about 10 shakes of Tabasco sauce. So now, taste it here. And taste it, and the heat builds up in the back of your throat a few seconds later, and it's perfect. It's just enough twinge there to get the little sweat nodules on the front of your head there. Not overpowering, not too hot, not painful at all. Just wonderful. All right, we're going to immersion this in the blender, and we'll be back. Okay. I'm going to run this immersion blender through here. Get everything blended up. Keep it fine. As soon as I'm through, I'll be back. Okay, I want you to look at that. Smooth and creamy. It's just unbelievable. The camera don't do it justice. It's just, gosh, it's great. When the griddle's still hot, stick it back on there. Just let it cool off. Excuse me. Some of them peppers is getting down there in my lungs. Anyway, this is it. We're going to post this. That grill's still hot. It's still boiling there. I can hear it bubbling on the bottom. Anyway, we're going to let it just cool off with the griddle. The griddle's off. This is it. Put it in the refrigerator. Might just set it outside. It's going to be in the 40s tonight. That'll be plenty cold. Alright, we'll be back. But not tonight.